Hello everyone, it is that time of the month again. And I think this time you can see a little bit of it in the corner over there. That's right, it's Zest Achilles. So the main bay is Zest Achilles, which is probably my most excited for release of this year. It has 48 modes from 3 modes on the layer. Left and right rotation, high and low mode, and then 4 modes on Quattro. Now here we just have some things on how chain works. With Kerbeus, all the chains will move freely. With the 2 armor in high mode, 4 of them stay out, but the 2 on the side move freely. And then with any other DB core other than Kerbeus, they all just stay out. Now, we have Zest Achilles, which is finally dual spin, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, I'm used to Achilles being in right spin only. Then we have a new disc, Illegal. And then probably my most favorite part out of this entire set, Quattro Dash. It's basically just Quattro with the 4 modes, but with a stronger spring. Next we have Chain Phoenix 2. I don't have the black prominence, so I can't make the black prominence Phoenix, so sorry if anyone of you were looking forward to that. But we have a disc that I do not have yet, Fortress, and the Metal Never driver, which seems like a pretty good driver. Then we have Hollow Ragnarok 1D. Not really sure this was the best other part to put in here, but Hollow's fine since it's a rare part anyways. Here we just have the normal high and low mode explanation. And here we have speed mode, attack mode, and defense mode. Here we have right spin and left spin. And then low mode and high mode. And then all the Quattro modes. And I believe that's pretty much everything. Oh wait, yeah. There's also the stuff about the A-gear on here, but I'm gonna move that to a separate video because I feel like this one might be a bit of a long one. So if you want to see more about that, check that one when it's released. So I will open this up now. And from the start, we can already see a few parts. Just like carve those out a bit. Here we have the stickers. And just slice that. Now here we have the stickers. And they're pretty beautiful stickers. It's just there looks like there's a whole bunch of them. And for some reason they look bigger than the actual bays. Which I'm not sure if like it's extra on the outside or what, but anyway, we also have instructions, but nobody really uses them anymore since they got rid of the teasers as well as the sticker instructions, which are now on the back of the box. So, because this Achilles is dual spin, we do get a new spin change tool for it, this time in white. The other 3 were, I think, in red, silver, and then black, I think? It was either black or gold, correct me if I'm wrong. So there's that. Here's the A-gear, I'll go over that more in the next video. And then here is Hollow Ragnarok 1D. And then there are more parts, and then here is Zest Achilles. Alright, so you guys know the drill. I will sticker up these parts and then be back in a bit. Alright, so everything has stickers now. So I'm just going to start off with probably the least exciting bay, since it's not even a complete bay. So here we have Hollow Ragnarok 1D. It comes with the Ragnarok core, which I actually kind of like how it looks. It's a little like pea yellow, but not bad. Then we just got a regular 1D in yellow. I would have preferred if it was like painted at least, but It's fine. And then hollow. We got like one big metal scythe on here. And then we've also got a bit of metal weighting in here. One thing I am surprised about is I did not expect this side to feel this smooth. Also, it looks like in real life it looks a lot more orange than yellow or gold, which I like because I feel like they've been overusing gold quite a lot lately. But I feel like most people haven't done this on their videos, but I'm just going to give this one a combo using the spare parts from the Astral Spriggan set with Blitz and Metal Survive. And that's our first bay for today. Now, here's our second bay. Chain Phoenix Fortress Never 2, or Metal Never, as you can see here. It's very nice, clear with the red palm. The free spin, however, I feel like it's a little less than the gold one. Now, this does have a stronger spring because it's a metal driver, but this also has the updated metal tab, so it slides a little more easily, but on this one it's not really an issue if you hear it. Some pretty loud clicks there. Alright, next up, the Fortress disc, originally released on Chain Kerbeus, and I completely missed out on it because Chain Ragnar trolled me. So, it's a pretty, like, hexagonal disc. It reminds me a little of the wheel disc from Glide Ragnarok because of all these, like, outer holes. I've heard this is a pretty good disc for attack types. And this is a 3-star. Okay, yeah, okay, it's a 3-star fortress. And then we got like these little F blade things here. And that's all for that. Next up is the Chain Phoenix 2 layer. First up, 2. You all know it, you've all seen it millions of times because it's been re-released on about every single thing ever. So on this combo, I'm actually thinking of replacing this 2 with the Black Zero, because if you put the core in on low mode, all the chains are out, but if you use 0 in high mode, it acts like Kerbeus, and all the chains can go in freely. So I'll just be using that. Next up is the Chain Blade, which I like that they did these blades clear this time instead of painting the silver over them. It feels like it fits a lot more nicely with the rest of the blade. This black is also kind of nice, but I would have preferred if it was like a little more solid. Other than that, it's a decent blade. Not too bad. And then the Phoenix core. This would probably go great with the Black Prominence, but I did not think Prominence Valkyrie wasn't exciting enough to buy it, so we're just stuck with Chain Phoenix. The teeth on this are... Focus, please. Alright, teeth on this are pretty good. They look slightly better than the B-191 Phoenix, but not by much, so there won't really be much of a difference. And now I'll just assemble this. Pretty good teeth. Alright, now it's time for my most favorite part of the entire set. Zest Achilles. Looks absolutely beautiful. Now I'm gonna compare it to a few other bays as I talk about the parts. First up, Astral Spriggan. Now, Zest Achilles' driver is Quattro Dash. It's in this very beautiful cherry red, which it looks kind of shiny because it's slightly transparent. Now, I have both of them here, and it's just to check if like there were any mold changes that happened when they made Quattro Dash. So first up we have the balance modes. And as of right now, it looks like the rubber on Quattro Dash is much thinner than the rubber on the regular Quattro. So it might be less aggressive in balance mode. Now if we change to defense mode, both rubber balls, and there's not really a difference with this one. And then another rubber mode, we have attack mode. And once again, the rubber on the original Quattro looks much thicker than the rubber on Quattro Dash. And then finally for the stamina mode, these two look the same. This one looks a little bit sharper, but that's probably because it hasn't been worn yet. So that's all for Quattro Dash, which is a pretty good driver. Next up, we have the illegal disc, and compared to Over, it's somewhat similar, yet there are a lot more holes in it. It's a lot more hollow, but on the side it's a little bit thicker. So this will probably be a top tier disc, just because it has all the weight on the outside. How many stars? Just one. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Now we have Zest Achilles. Now here we have Astral Spring to compare it to. And then right away, the sides are a little different, but about the same really. Just no metal or rubber on Zest Achilles. Now, if I start off with the forearmor, it has weight concentrated in these 4 points, and that's pretty much it for that armor. Now I'm going to compare it to some past Achilles to see if I can see any similarities. So first up, Z Achilles. The shield design looks a little similar, also how it's right facing. Oh, question of the day. Do you prefer the right-facing Achilles or the front-facing Achilles? And then, this isn't the original one, but here we can see it's kind of like the silver on the sides of the original. And then, the illegal disc is a little similar to 11. They have that similar design in the middle. And then a pretty hollow outside. And it's kind of insane how we came from this to this in just like a few bays. Next up, we do have Chozy Achilles. I put Dimension Dash on it just because I felt like it. Now, this one doesn't share a whole lot of similarities, but I suppose this is where the similarity starts on the blade, where you can see the swords kind of take that more pointed this way shape instead of the stabbier design that Z Achilles had. Yeah, and then this is also where the blue started. Now with Zest, you have 3 modes. On right spin, you have the attack mode, the speed mode, and then the defense mode, where you can see these 2 shield parts here. On left spin mode, you have the attack mode, which is actually under, because the logic with this is that the swords on the Zest sword need to line up with the swords on the Zest blade to be attack mode. And when it's off, it's in speed mode. And finally, when it's placed on top in left spin, it's defense mode, because the swords are going in the opposite direction. Now, and then we get closer to how it is when we get to Union Achilles, because that's where we start to have the regular blade separated into the metal piece, the chip, and then the sword piece, which you can add onto it to make it basically thicker and increase its attack power. Now, my Union is pretty beat up, so it doesn't have the best burst resistance. But on here, we have, once again, the side facing. We got some green eyes here. Some... not much else. There's a bit of silver that you can see on the swords as well. Bit of silver hilting. And then these are kind of weird because it's a bit more golden on this side. And then I don't actually have a real Infinite Achilles, but only like this fake one that I got as a present for a birthday a while back. And then this also had the Infinite Sword, which I don't really think is that good looking compared to the Zest sword. And then the only real part of Infinite Achilles I do have is this Infinite Shield, which this took the place of by just turning into a defense mode. Now, I believe that's all the gimmicks for the Zest blade, which means I think that I did go over all of them. So now I'll just assemble the layer. Here's how it looks in speed mode, in right spin. And then if I want defense mode in right spin, I just have to do this. Honestly, this looks pretty good no matter what mode it's in. And then the last mode we have is right spin attack mode. Now, I'm not going to cycle through all the high modes as well because that's going to be pretty time consuming. But what I will do is, if I look at the teeth, they're pretty blocky, similar to Valkyrie 2, I'd say. And I'm going to get my tool that came with the set. And then, for the first time ever, Achilles is a left spin now, which is a little weird to think about. Now, if I want it in left spin attack mode, I have it like this, which is weird. It should be like, it looks a little more like it's a defense mode, but it is an attack mode. It has these large attack points here. And then if I want speed mode, I just take off the shield and put it here. We have these gold swords on the left spin side and these silver swords on the right spin side. So that's speed mode in left spin. And then finally, defense mode in left spin looks like this. And I'm just going to assemble it as is. And then there's our Zest Achilles. Now, I'm not going to do any battles this time, but if you want to see battles, check out my shorts that I'm making. You'll see a lot more battles with Zest Achilles there now that I finally have it, as well as Chain Phoenix, as well as, I keep forgetting the name of this, Hollow Ragnarok. Yep, Hollow Ragnarok. So what I would recommend, definitely get this. This is such a good bay. The blade is a little thin, but it seems to be pretty good. So if you enjoyed my video, please consider subscribing. You don't have to. I mean, you can just keep watching without subscribing if you don't want to. Thanks. Next video will be on the A gear for Divine Belial. Well, see you later.